Welcome to Hollywood.
And welcome back once again to the Overwatch Southeast Asian Tournament, as we will have Mineski in red face off against Skullcap in blue, a Vietnamese team that has also been looking pretty hot, but unfortunately for them, they are coming off of a loss from that first round up against Vanquishers, another Vietnamese team. So it seems as we have a really stacked group on our hands. Blurry.
Yeah, it certainly does seem that way. Mineski, despite losing that last map, still a very, very good team here. Interesting. I mean, yeah, certainly a very stacked group. Looks like it might be a remake. Oh, never mind. You can't be. Good to see that's not happening. Looking quickly at the defensive comp. I'm not sure how I feel about... sorry, I actually misread the comp. I do actually like it. I do know how I feel. I like the triple tank Tweed on that Roadhog. For some reason, I saw Bin's Reinhardt as a Sombra. Not sure how I made that mistake, but I did.
Okay. It is... The one thing to note with this triple tank defensive comp on Hollywood, it is generally more well-rounded up by a soldier on that DPS slot. It is going to be Death Whisper on that Genji though, and we'll see how that one holds. As on the offensive side for Mineski, it is going to be the triple threat dive comp.
Yeah, I like this. They're going for that triple threat. Diving straight in, they got to get past Bin's Reinhardt. Overall, really, really smart. Death Whisper will actually have a better time responding to the dive, I think, as that Genji. But he's got to play almost perfectly.
And so far, it is going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of Mineski. Make that a third, as the dive is having a lot of success here for the red team lineup. Even the charge really not hitting the mark there. And as a result, Death Whisper is going to drop really, really low. As you mentioned, at the very least, he did manage to pick up a few kills. However, not quite enough to deal with the opposition just yet. And it doesn't seem as if he's going to contest. And as a result, with 5 minutes 33 seconds remaining, Mineski already pushing that payload.
Well, you say pushing. I think I forgot.
Starting the push on the payload.
Yeah. It's actually interesting. I think you made a good point that a soldier would round the comp out. Well, I think you can read that there's almost always a Farah attacking Hollywood, because you can pop over the security room roof so easily and get so many easy shots. Why wouldn't you play Farah? I like this switch onto the Widow though. This street is really good for Widow. She can play on the roofs.
But Meister...
I say she does.
Has other plans in mind. Two ultimates already good to go for the lineup of Mineski. Death Whisper, however, should be able to answer with a blade of his own if he wishes to do so, but Meister picking up us for his skill second, and now third with Khaled on the other side. On that fair does mean that Mineski is gonna have an easy time winning this one, even popping the rocket barrage, making sure that God of Mizuno goes down. And as a result, with the payload rapidly approaching the checkpoint, Skullcap should have enough time to regroup and contest, but so far, not looking very likely, as Mineski is most assuredly asserting their dominance. But now with the nano boost on top of the Winston for super locks, he's going to be able to just cleave through the opposition with that Tesla cannon, as final kill onto God Mizuno is going to come through. Nobody left alive for Skullcap to contest said payload, and as a result, Mineski looking poised to finish Hollywood offense with really fast time.
Yeah, this is incredibly fast here. Mineski bouncing back from the last round nicely, showing that mental fortitude that puts home now onto the creek. I like that coming into the last point. The hit scan's really strong here.
And we'll see Bin make the swap over to McCree, as he said, but Tweed Allen doing quite a bit of work on their Roadhog. Will be popping the whole hog to just make sure he secures the payload for now. As interesting love, even home going over to that McCree, but the rocket barrage out of Keldbolg was popped at the appropriate time as Tweed Allen was using that E to make sure he gets some HP back. It means that he couldn't go for the hook as well as the secondary firehead onto the Pharah, and as a result, Death Whisper is gonna finally go down. He has had some decent success on that Genji, but unfortunately for him, never really had the opportunity to pop the blade. That is the biggest issue that I've seen, but now with the blade coming out of Meister, he's gonna look to do better. Even with the Electric Cowboy though, onto Ben. He doesn't manage to find any targets just yet. Tries to predict any potential targets there, but Keldbolg is on top with that Pharah. Picks up 2. The Diva swap has come through for Tweed Allen, but how long is he going to be able to contest this payload as Home now popping the Deadeye is going to be able to pick up that 1 kill. And with 3 minutes and 42 seconds remaining, Mineski looking strong on Hollywood.
Yeah, and I don't think Death Whisper's Genji did enough. He played okay. He had some success, as you said, but overall, I don't think the pick justified itself. Also, it probably was a bit of panic because they had very, very little time to coordinate. I didn't like boosting McCree there at the end. You had a Winston, and while obviously McCree does more damage with the nano by a significant margin, keeping your Winston alive due to the damage reduction of the nano boost, I think was a better decision. But again, the Ana probably had about half a second to think and was just trying to boost someone before they died, so I can't really rip into them too much for that. Overall, a really, really strong attack from Mineski. The payload basically never stopped.
Maybe he wanted to make sure the McCree not only stays alive, but also charges up that Deadeye really fast and potentially pick up a teamfight win off of it. Not really sure what was going on in Skullcap's minds, but nevertheless, even with that being said, Mineski is gonna have pretty good time here on Hollywood so far, as we will have the double DPS, double tank lineup for them, with Home on that Zarya and Keldbolg on that defensive Genji as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to run a defensive Genji, I think you have to run a soldier alongside it. Interesting that so far, no Pharah has actually been picked here for the attack. In one way, maybe you're countering the obvious read that everyone thinks there's going to be a Pharah, so you counter the Pharah, but at the same time, the reason everyone thinks there's a Pharah is because of how good she is on this board.
And at the very least, Ben is going to be picking up that Widowmaker, so the opportunity for a few picks is going to be a go for Skullcap. And considering Meister is running that soldier, that might be one of the prime targets alongside Zeril. But so far, no kills on either end. Keldbolg actually picking up the first one onto Shira, and the nice shot by Bid actually gets Keldbolg there in the end. But unfortunately, overall, still a favorable trade for Mineski, as they did pick up 3 in that engage. But Ben is on fire on this Widowmaker, picking up Home there. Nice headshots coming through, goes for the jump shot, tries to find those final few targets, and maybe, just maybe, with Ben being there on that Widowmaker and having the Zenyatta there too for those Discord orbs, it's going to be enough as they pick up another, but 2 kills in return from the side of Mineski, as Joran picks up the Winston there in the end. And as a result, Clown is already at 74% towards that ulti charge, and Keldbolg with the deflect is going to be able to pick up that particular kill onto Ben. Does have the blade already good to go. Nano boost is there for the support on the side of Zeril, but with ult economy overall in favor of Mineski, this should still be a favorable fight for them, as the hook is gonna stop the cast. Go live for the blade. Nano boost is still there, however, but kills overall in red, and actually Hook helping out Mineski there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Khaled's kind of happy that the cast of his blade didn't go off there. He just didn't need it in the end. Didn't need to go for the nano blade. Just the Genji was enough. With the old Adam Meister, that tactical visor was really strong. Now, Bin has been playing really well on this Widow, and I think the problem with this first point is that he can't do it all. This isn't a Widow point where she can get enough hit.
And it is going to be a 2-4-1 as so far the Graviton's being popped. It is going to be Mineski coming out on top, and with 1 minute 35 seconds remaining, a lot of ultimates used on the side of Skullcap. They're rapidly running out of time as Superlock still has the Earth Shatter, and never mind, Death Whisper did not use the Graviton. It was just the Graviton on the side of Mineski. We'll still have that one for that next team fight, but unless he can get something done with it, Skullcap not looking too hot right now.
Yeah, not a huge amount of follow-up for Death Whisper's Gravitron. 0 ults ready to go. This is painful to Skullcap here. They've got to see this team fight. They just need to give this up, try and bait as many ults as they can and use nothing.
And another team kill is going to be good for Mineski. 48 seconds left. And even if they do get this point, they're not going to have a lot of time to work with. But I do like the fact that Death Whisper, at the very least, held off on to that Graviton for now, making sure they get a potential last push win, as it is going to be 30 seconds remaining. The charge is gonna through in, but the deflect is actually gonna be deflected. Cannonball on this Genji, destroying the opposition, and with that, Mineski is going to be the victors here, winning Hanamura with 10 seconds remaining. Getting a bit ahead of myself, but I don't see how Skullcap can recover after that disastrous push.
No, that's basically the worst thing that can happen. The Genji reflecting your last-ditch Gravitron surge. Bin with a nice try there, winning it on that Genji. That's tragic. It really is. So, like, Khaled on that Genji was so solid the entire half. And he caps it off by reflecting the last minute Zion.
Oh, man.
What more can you ask from your Genji player? What more can he do? That was so good.
And really good game knowledge and game sense by him to note that, okay, the Zarya should have his ultimate, didn't use it in the last team fight. The flex should be good to go, and might see it happen just here.
Yeah.
There it is.
That was also a mistake from Death Whisper. He was right in front of him with like just don't know. There would have been panic in from Death Whisper, don't get me wrong. But it is a mistake there.
It is indeed, unfortunately, for Skullcap. But with that, we will be moving on to the second map, which is going to be either Hanamura or Anubis. If it's going to be the choice for Skullcap, which should be, not entirely sure as to which one they prefer. We've seen Mineski go for Hanamura in their previous series, so we'll see what Skullcap would do. And if all things considered, if they have watched Mineski's previous match against Bong on Hanamura, I would personally go for Hanamura too, as they've seemed pretty lost facing off against that particular comp. You could try and mirror that, or of course, with Mineski being still so strong, they can still now find a way to deal with it. But we'll see, which is going to be it, as it should be Skullcap's choice, I believe. Or no, they did go for the first map. So yeah, it is Mineski. We'll see.
I would hope they pick Temple of Anubis, just because they really didn't look like they knew what they were doing on Hanamura.
And it is going to be Temple of Anubis. Yeah, unsurprisingly, all things considered. But Anubis is another one of those maps where I would definitely love to see more Widowmaker coming out of Bin at the very least. On the offensive side. Because a Widowmaker, of course, compared to defense, where she would need to win most team fights to stay effective because of the long walks from spawn over on the defensive side of things. When it comes to the offense, 1 or 2 picks can be enough to win you the point. and Snowball. As a result, it is going to be loser's side that picks the map. Okay, so
we may see Hanamura.
We might still see Hanamura.
Regardless, I like the Widowmaker pick. For the attack, I think you're right there. While a defensive Widow kind of has to win the team fight for their team, the attack really only needs to get 1 or 2 key picks, and then suddenly the fight just falls into place. We may well be going to Anubis anyway. That would be good.
It does seem as if it is going to be Anubis. Alright. See,
I like this for Mineski. I know it's not their pick, but I like it for them anyway because they looked very strong on dive comps. And you can play a defensive dive comp on the first point of Anubis. There's so many little alleys and walls, all of that, that really you can go ahead and on both sides play a dive comp. Ben has immediately selected Widowmaker. I hope he sticks with that. I think it's a really good pick. He played a strong Widowmaker on Hollywood. His team couldn't get over the line, but Ben's Widowmaker was probably the
highlight there for Skullcap. Yeah.
The highlight, yeah.
And so far on the defensive side for Mineski, I still expect some swaps to come in. I don't think Meister is gonna be picking up that Fridge support for his team. As so far,
they've left spawn.
They have, but still, Lucio's still there. Lucio's still there with the speed boost, right? Home.
No, Meister's gone back. Meister's realized.
Nah, just teasing for now. Most likely, the caster is as Home makes the classic swap to Hanzo. As we will see the double DPS, double tank comp on the defensive side of things. We'll be running back on that soldier. And over on offense, as said, definitely like to see Ben on that Widowmaker once more.
Yeah, looking at the teams, they didn't really. They have somewhat gone for the defensive dive comp. Home on Soldier as a bit of an anchor is really, really strong. Looking at the attack, I question the Roadhog pick if that doesn't fit in with a dive. I think that would be much better as a Winston.
That was a beautiful Bionade connect off of the wall, and with Kellenbulk being off onto the side, not really noticed by anyone. Does mean that kills will start off and go favorably in the side of Mineski, as you're just going to be able to wipe the floor with Skullcap for now. And as a result, Bin makes the instant swap over to Zarya.
See, I don't think the swap onto Zarya was the response to that. I'm not sure what this Roadhog is meant to do. You're running almost a dive comp. Were that a Winston, I'd pretty confidently call it a dive comp. But this Roadhog, I think he's just going to be stranded all the time. And just like that, he was just caught 4v1, completely cut dry, killed, and now his team's got to fight a 5v6. Makes it 5v5 though.
Death Whisper though picks up a kill there, and return the Diva Matrix will keep the support safe for now. But now with Kellenbulk popping that blade, he's gonna look to secure this particular team fight for Mineski, as he is going to be able to make it out alive in the end, but takes one support down, and as a result, Ben now really low. The rest of the Skullcap members will be able to regroup off onto the side next to the bridge. And Home now, with the Attack Visor ready to go, is going to try and head over to the high ground position. The Anubis is available too, so they might just go ahead and opt in for it, as that should at the very least secure them another team fight. But surprise Genji coming out of Death Whisper is going to be really low, as the deflect will time out, should go down there in the end. Kellenbulk was there for the extra support too, but now Euroclown will pop the Nano Boost on top of the Reinhardt, and kills come in on both sides. Earthshatter is gonna stop him dead in his tracks, and Home will be shut down. Exactly, would definitely agree with that, but so far it's still kills favored in the side of Mineski, as the hook is gonna get deflected. Ben was there though. A charged up Zarya is gonna hurt, and with that, Skullcap should be able to pick up the point in the end.
Yeah, this point is basically completely gone, and we do see that Mineski's just getting ready on the second point. I feel like that was a bit of a mistake there from Meister jumping down.
It was home on that soldier, but exactly. I don't know. This is just something that most soldiers seem to do when they have that tech visor. They need to get off of high ground and just go for the targets. But can Skullcap snowball their advantage? So far, it is going to be the Graviton used. Soundbear is going to be able to mitigate it for now. It is going to be a 1-for-1. Cloudbulk making it a 2-for-1 in favor of Mineski, and with the hook coming through, it is going to be favorable kills on the side of the blue team. And with that, Mineski will manage to avert disaster for now.
Yeah, home going now onto that Roadhog. It was my mistake. We very correctly pointed out that he was on the soldier. Home going over onto Roadhog, I really like. Roadhog is great on this point because a lot of the approaches to the attackers are very narrow, and if you just flick a hook in, you're almost certainly going to grab someone, which is really strong.
And the interesting choice is Ben went back to the Widowmaker.
Going back to it.
We'll be curious to see if it's going to pay off. Earthshatter is available on both sides as Meister picks up that particular kill. Now does have the tech visor ready to go. Tweedown picking up Joran again. Now with the Fire Strike, 2 kills in favor of Skullcap. If they can get a good Earthshatter. But a good shatter happened on the other end of the spectrum as Superlocks was the first one to pull the trigger. And with that, we'll be able to get one as Tweedown actually used it. So was it mitigated by the shield? I missed out on that one. Superlocks definitely coming out on top.
It hit Lucio.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, it hit Joran. It wasn't a particularly good hammer. I think he spun at the last second because Mineski read that he was about to use it, tried to move past him. It was a pretty good reaction from Tweedown. It wasn't ideal. I like that God Mizuno has gone on to win it over the road. They're playing a dive comp. This is just a straight dive comp, adding in a Reinhardt because he can charge in. He can effectively dive on this point. I like this a lot.
It is still a 1-for-1 so far, and as a result, Tech Visor was actually tried to be popped by Meister. Wasn't really able to pull it off as you got killed in the meantime. And now with the nano boost on top of the Reinhardt, Soundbear was there as well. Superlocks should potentially be able to mitigate the team fight loss here. And with that, already at 93% towards his Earth Shatter. And I didn't manage to catch what killed Meister there, but it killed him fast enough not to get that ultimate on cooldown.
Yeah, that's very quick. The cast time for Tactical Visor is very, very short. A little bit unfortunate there for Hone. I think maybe the call that they needed to be a bit desperate was made. He switched to Tracer to get back to the point. By the time he'd spawned, Superlocks had already stabilized the fight. Lost a bit of his Zaya ult charge.
And the Earth Shatter is gonna come through. Triple Earth Shatter on the side of Tweedown for Skullcap. And is it going to be enough? So far it is a 1-for-1. Mineski falling as Superlock's final member alongside Cloudbulk. And as a result, maybe, just maybe, Skullcap have this in the back. 25% already rapidly approaching that third checkpoint, or rather tick, as another kill on the side of Joran. Nice charge onto Zeril. Means that Tweedown is on fire, but the counter charge from Superlocks looking to avert disaster with Cloudbulk popping that blade too, but it doesn't seem as if it's going to be enough as kills still in favor of Red. 87.7% built up sleep on top of Superlocks as he will be able to finally pick up Clown. And now
so much time.
Joran on that Lucio is going to be able to buy some extra time. Death Whisper though is already approaching the second Dragon Blade of this team fight, and as a result should be able to pick up a couple of extra kills. Nano Boost was used onto the Tracer for Home, forced to recall. 60 seconds left on that timer. The Earth Shatter though by Superlocks is going to be able to shut down this push single-handedly. And with that, Mineski finally stabilized.
Jeez, like how close can it get? Death Whisper working so hard, getting the double Dragon Blade. But Superlocks has just continued this excellent Reinhardt play, getting that basically game-saving Earth Shatter. Putting that down. Jeez.
But
I mean, Tweed Allen does have his Shadow. It's the only ult currently up.
ooh, and no Reinhardt for now, but gets taken down before that can actually happen. And now with the blade coming through, Cannonball picks up two, both of the supports in one slice. And as a result, Mineski should have this two final members of the side of Skullcap left on the point. Death Whisper will go down, and with the sound barrier coming through from Mineski, overtime kicks in, doesn't matter. And as a result, it will be able to get that second point defense, but 87.7% built up for Skullcap.
Switching sides.
Yeah, by no means was that a bad push by them. Very, very nearly taking it. Honestly, if it wasn't for a little bit of heroics out of both Superlogs and Cannonball, I think they may have actually had one of those last two team fights. One dash killing both supports is pretty disastrous, if I do say so myself. Going into this next one, it's going to have to be a very strong attack from Mineski. By no means is this over. They basically have to capture both points, which is not easy to do on Anubis. This is a map where the defense can be incredibly strong. You asked if we were going to get an Orisa, and Tweed hovered it there, but he did go back to Roadhog. I don't know about the Roadhog, though. I don't like it. This comp from... I don't understand this comp.
This comp is a
Now
bit
I get it a
weird.
little bit more.
It's still going to be a few swaps coming through on both sides. I don't expect him to keep him. The Roadhog, at the very least, should be able to deal with the likes of Superlocks on that Winston, since you should definitely be expecting a dive. But at the same time, I do have to agree, having the McCree as well as the Tracer there as well does seem a bit strange, but maybe, just maybe, they can make it work. As said, Tweed Allen alongside Death Whisper should be able to help out with countering the dive, but
wonder if
will be
Callan's gonna
enough.
stay on Sombra. I actually, Callan has gone to Widowmaker. I like the Widowmaker pick. I don't actually mind the Sombra picking. The attack team, much less confusing. Standard dive, covered by Callan's Widow. He'll try and get up on top of that archway.
Ooh, great hook, but unfortunately for him, no other follow-up. Means that the support of Zyrel will be able to stay alive for now, and Widowmaker contested as heavily as he is here for Cad. He will go down there in the end. Ben picking up that one, but the rest of Mineski are on the point. They will go down. Finally, Death Whisper picking up a double there, and Skullcap making it work so far.
Yeah, so far they have made it work. Unfortunately, Zyrel's not going to survive that second hook.
And
what actually happened
kills
with that first hook? Yeah, staggered kills, good point. What actually happened with that first hook is Zyrel was hooked. Meister immediately dashed in front of Roadhog and started reflecting, so he couldn't translate the hook into a kill. Really, really good play by Meister. It's that 0.1 of a second he's got to react.
oh, but now with the swap over onto the Roadhog, Cannonball is going to be able to pick up a kill. Meister is really, really low, but does have that blade ready to go. So after the heal, that might be just enough for them to get that point, as now Death Whisper is still on top on that high noon, and Meister nicely done, but gets instantly flashed. However, he will not be able to take him down, and as a result, Meister still coming out on top in that particular engage. Nicely done by him, because the high noon, the Deadeye was there, so could have been very dangerous for Mineski. However, with that, Meister picks up another staggered kill, and the point for his team.
Thankfully, the staggered kill shouldn't matter too much. He'll respawn for the attack and get to the second point. They need to snowball it. Looking at ult, though, the defense is heavily favored here with the Primal Rage, Whole Hog, and the Deadeye. They just need... They do have a Whole Hog and a Nano Boost for the attack. Joran very close to a sound barrier as well. Certainly going to be close. They are immediately going in.
And the Deadeye was used, but the shield is going to be able to keep most of them alive. Nice flash onto Meister there to Saves himself for Death Whisper, but again, first kill is gonna go in favor of Bin on that Tracer. Now setting the sights onto that big juicy Roadhog. Now with the Sound Barrier being popped as well, even with Meister picking up a kill there onto Death Whisper, this should still be overall favorable for Skullcap, as they will be able to stabilize. 3 down, picks up 2 more, and 14% built up on that point so far on the side of Mineski. However, they have 5 minutes left on that timer and 3 pretty big ultimates on their side.
Yeah, basically the biggest ults on their team, except maybe the Nano Boost. The Gravity Blade is already incredibly strong, but when you can use the Reinhardt Hammer to stop anyone that maybe is a straggler or just lay down damage across the Gravity, we got a strong.
Oh, but Home is gonna get speed boosted off to the side, but the Roadhog is too fat. Blocks it there in the end, but still first kill in favor of Mineski. Meister now popping the blade. Earth Shatter was there too. This should be a snowball victory for Mineski, as long as they can get to finalize those few kills. Now already rapidly approaching that second tick. This is looking very unlikely for Skullcap to recover, and as a result, Mineski pick up another win on Anubis, and with that, the series win. GG.
Yeah, really well played there out of Mineski. I questioned some of Skullcap's comps. I'm not sure what they were doing. At the end there, it was a little bit more standard, but having a Tracer and a McCree on the same team is not something you actually see particularly often, because they just do such polarizing things. Meister, I mean, he was so solid on the Genji there. This last push here was basically unholdable for Skullcap. With the 3 ults that were up, I mean, what could you really expect from the Skullcap? It was basically just over there. Overall, really well played by both teams.